Hello friend and welcome to Borgcast the Animated Series 1.7 with Anne-Marie and Peter and Lila.
Hello!
We've heard from Shane on the Lorelei Signal. I'm behind on the podcast, just watching the Lorelei Signal now. When did the bridge get a second turbo lift? Well, the answer is in the animated series.
Oh, okay.
Which I hadn't noticed before, but he was at my birthday bash last week and picked up from town the very large coffee table book on the animated series, which I've now got as well.
Yeah.
And yes, it points out that they've made certain improvements. I thought that didn't come in till the motion picture, but no, the animated series was ahead of the game. Mm. Tonight we are covering One of Our Planets is Missing, which surely isn't a reference to the Disney classic.
Didn't the Disney classic come after this?
Nope, before.
Really?
Long before.
I thought the Disney classic was the 1970s.
Yeah, well, this is the 1970s. But when in the 1970s?
Oh, yes.
I think, actually, you might be right, and this might be One of Our Dinosaurs is Missing might be embarrassingly late in the 1970s. 1975. You're right, One of Our Dinosaurs came after. Wow. Written by Mark Daniels, who directed 15 episodes of the original series.
Oh, this is his first writing credit.
Yeah. Such brilliance as as Space Seed. Mm-hmm. Such rubbish as Spock's Brain.
Oh, wow.
And most tellingly, the Doomsday Machine, which this does have a fair bit in common with.
Yeah, it does.
So when we say he wrote it, we might also say he partly ripped it off. But anyway, he also directed 4 episodes of The Man from U.N.C.L.E., your favourite, which I got a DVD box set of season 1 from Shane for my birthday.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching them.
86 episodes of a series called Alice.
'Cause for 24 years I've been living next door to Alice. Alice, oh that fucking Alice.
It's a sitcom spun off from the Martin Scorsese movie Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, which I've never heard of, I must admit.
No.
Deals with the misadventures and trials of aspiring singer Alice Hyatt, her son Tommy, and her co-workers at a Greasy Spoon diner in Phoenix, Arizona. No, I'm not bothered.
No.
39 episodes of I Love Lucy, which I have heard of, but never seen. 33 episodes of Marcus Welby, MD, which sounds turgidly boring. 31 episodes of The Goldbergs, guess what sort of family they were. 19 episodes of Hogan's Heroes. 14 episodes of Insight, which was an American Roman Catholic religious-themed anthology which shed light on the contemporary search for meaning, freedom and love. Wow. But that was a laugh a minute. 10 episodes of Gunsmoke, by contrast. 8 episodes of 1979's Co-Ed Fever, about a girls' school going co-ed. I bet that's not repeatable now.
No.
7 episodes of The Doris Day Show. 7 episodes of 1980s sitcom Mr. President, starring Dr. Strangelove's George C. Scott as the titular.
Oh.
Yeah. 5 Kung Fu's. 3 episodes of... I loved that theme. Never watched the show, obviously. 2 Mission Impossibles. 2 Flying Nuns. Hooray! A couple of Hawaii 5-0s, and that's just some of his credits.
Whoa.
In fact, I probably spent longer talking about his credits than we were on the rest of the episode, but there we go.
Probably.
But can he write?
Well, we already know he nicked half of the idea,
Well,
didn't we?
a big chunk anyway,
Yeah.
yes.
Captain's log, stardate 5371.3. A huge cosmic cloud has been reported moving into the outer fringe of our galaxy. Nothing like it has ever been seen before. Starfleet Command has sent the Enterprise to investigate, as we are the only vessel in the vicinity of the phenomenon. Our present position is in the Pallas 14 system, which contains Mantilles, the most remote inhabited planet in the entire Federation.
So there is a huge cosmic cloud on the outer fringe of the galaxy. The Enterprise is in Pallas 14, where the planet Mantilles...
Chantilly lace and a pretty face and a...
Sorry,
Okay.
is the outermost planet in the Federation. The cloud is irregular and made of strange matter. And then you have Arex, and he speaks!
Yeah, guess whose voice he's got?
I do like that he speaks, though.
Yes. It is one of Doohan's better efforts, is what I think. So,
But why, given that Arex is clearly not human, does he compare the size of the cloud to Jupiter and Saturn, which orbit Earth? Why does he not say...
Oh, it's all about, the Federation being a Homo sapiens only club, as the Klingons said in Star Trek 6. I mean, it does all seem to revolve around Earth, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then as they're looking, Alondra has disappeared. And Uhura questions, well, surely, just blocked from view, kind of eclipsed, really. But no, been engulfed, effectively been eaten. And then the cloud changes course. Having eaten one planet, it's now on course for another, and it's heading towards Mantilles. Spock posits that it might be feeding. It could be acting instinctively, and if it is feeding, how do they know it doesn't eat stars as well as planets? It could be a huge threat. Meanwhile, they talk about whether or not they should notify Mantilles, because they've only got about 4 hours. There's no way they can evacuate the whole planet. Is some better than none, but telling them is going to cause panic. Anyway, it's like, right, let's contact the governor of Antilles. That's what they decide to do. Meanwhile, Spock has been able to ascertain that the cloud comes from outside their galaxy and is made from some form of ambiplasma. Not that I have any fucking clue what ambiplasma is.
No.
Next thing you know, it's sort of... You can't really call them tentacles, wispy, cloudy bits.
Yeah.
Reach out and trap the Enterprise. It fires, but there's no effect.
It looked like a massive fart has caught the Enterprise.
One of Lila's.
Yeah. Deadly.
Yeah. They fire phasers, but it just absorbs the energy and the ship shakes. They end up on the inside of the cloud. There are some objects.
Hemorrhoids.
Yeah.
Antimatter hemorrhoids.
Wow.
Nasty.
So it's get your deflector shields up, but they can't last that long. Turns out the objects are made of antimatter. They fire an antimatter charge and they dissipate. And then they are beginning to wonder whether this is a cloud that's alive. And then they manage to get through to the governor of Mantilles, Bob. Bob the governor. Can he fix it? Bob the governor. No, he can't.
No, definitely not.
No.
So Bob Wesley has been in Star Trek before.
Has he?
Yes. He appeared as Commodore Wesley. So they do mention he's left Starfleet, so that makes sense. He was in charge of the USS Lexington in the Omega computer, when the Enterprise was running trials for the M5 computer and the early AI going wrong story. Guess who Bob Wesley is for? No, I'm not even going to bother.
No. So they've now got a sort of map of the cloud that they're in.
Which doesn't match what they're talking about.
No, it looks a bit like broccoli.
Yeah, well, it looks like a brain to me.
Yeah.
It's a cross-section of a brain, isn't it?
Yeah.
But they say, the open would come in as closed, and it blatantly hasn't on the diagram.
Yeah. And they posit that they're in the digestive system. So then Kirk wants them to give it indigestion so that it turns away from Antilles. McCoy
gets all educational for the kids as he talks about the villi. Not Aston Villa, thankfully. I'm going to talk about them. The cloud's villi are made of antimatter. Hence, they keep doing and explode. Scotty reports that keeping the deflectors on means the engines cannot take no more. And engineering looks fantastic in the animated series. They used those long panning shots to show it in all its glory. We see the inside of the nacelles for the first time and the antimatter engines in action, all different colours, and it all looks very Forbidden Planet, doesn't it?
I don't really care. It's a fucking engine.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's very... I don't know how to describe that style. It's sort of retro.
Maybe think of Ulysses 31, if that helps.
Better than Ulysses 31. Anyway, eat your heart out, JJ Beer Distillery Enterprise. Scotty suggests using the villi as antimatter fuel for the engine to give them more shield time. We see Moustache Kyle as he beams aboard some of the villi into a force field protected box, which Kirk and Scotty then shove into the engines. I'm sure Kirk ought to have better things to be doing with his time, but anyway. In a nice move, he gives credit to his chief engineer for saving the ship and Mantilles. Spock reports they found the Cloud's brain. The captain, in a very Kirk move, decides to photon torpedo with it.
Yeah.
Spock reminds him this is a living creature, but Kirk claims they don't know for sure it's intelligent. Yeah.
At which point I said, "Oh, let me guess, mind meld."
Yeah. At least he does have a moment of doubt with McCoy, anyway.
Yeah.
Spock reports the brain is too big to destroy anyway. The only way to overcome it is to use the ship as a berm.
Yeah, burn. Were you expecting one? A burn?
Wesley appears on the view screen. And whilst I've admired the backgrounds in this and every animated series episode so far, it has to be said that, you know, when you have a big character face like this and it's so bland and lacking features, it's terrible, isn't it? Kirk asks about his daughter, which is sweet. The captain goes for that old standby, as predicted, although it's now been called the Vulcan Mind Touch. This is the second time it's been referred to like that in the animated series. Spock points out that requires him to, well, touch the cloud. Ew. Instead, he suggests reaching out with his mind, presumably as he did last episode with Chapel. They're going to use the ship's sensors and universal translator as well, which is sensible.
Yeah, logical.
Unlike the pose that Spock adopts to reach out, which is like he wants a big hug.
Yeah.
Majel Barrett gets something to do this episode because she voices the cloud through the computer, which makes more sense than Nichelle Nichols' voice in the computer, but there we go. And she sounds very Ilea, so suddenly we're going to a feature place and the motion picture in this. As Spock explains there's life on Mantilles and gets the cloud to take him over so he can read the ship's library computer, we get some interesting views of future Earth.
Yes.
Yes, several are clips from... Did you work out where they came from?
No.
Lassie's Rescue Rangers.
Oh, fuck.
Hence the damn dog.
Oh, God.
Lassie's Rescue Ranger.
So it cuts from some futuristic buildings, a bit like one of the old original series mats. It was nice. And then it cuts to two kids on what looked like a log flume.
Yeah.
It's like, what? What's that about? And then two kids running, animated style, just shadows with a dog. It's like, oh, I know what they're doing here. Oh, wow. This does the trick, because apparently the Cloud is a fan of crummy kids' cartoons from the 1970s. They fly out the cloud as it heads home, leaving Spock to reflect on the wonders he's seen in a very motion picture-like way. So we need to ask, canon balls or Spock's brain balls?
Rock on, Tommy, you'll do for me.
I mean, if the Doomsday Machine, the motion picture, are canon, this is canon.
Yeah.
Because it's basically that. But in 20 minutes, which actually is probably a good thing, considering the motion picture goes on way too long.
It does go on way too long.
I can't remember how padded Doomsday Machine was, but yeah.
I remember liking Doomsday Machine, though.
Yeah, I think it was one of the better ones, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, the episode isn't bad. It's just predictable.
Mm-hmm. It is Route 1 Star Trek original series, isn't it?
Yeah. So, I suppose it's canon, it's just not fantastic.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
It's not Spock's balls canon, it's not bad.
No, it's average,
Yeah.
I'd say.
Spock's balls, it's Spock's brain. I called it Spock's balls.
Yeah, well, that's what we're calling it.
Oh, okay.
Cannon balls or Spock's brain balls.
Oh, okay.
But it could be Spock's balls if you like.
Yeah, I think I've renamed it. I don't think I meant to, but I think I have. I think that's it. It's Spock's balls now.
Ah, well, the system is evolving over time. I mean, it's educational in a lot less condescending way to its stablemate He-Man, let's face it.
Oh, yeah. It's better than the fucking moral, but we learned about villi in the intestines. Did I want to?
Yeah, well, now you know. And apparently that's all kosher stuff. Doesn't suffer from padding like the original, the Doomsday Machine did. Although it has to be said, the Doomsday Machine big monster was a lot more impressive than this cloud of guff.
Yeah.
And, the motion picture is clearly just amazing, particularly if you count the special edition. But I do like the engineering in this. That was fantastic.
Oh, yeah, you got really excited about the engines.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
I can't care about anything's engines.
But
Does
again,
it
they're
work?
showing
Yes, no.
stuff they couldn't show in the original series.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Which is why the cloud is a bit disappointing, because they could have gone with anything.
And
they just went with, a flying fart. Wow.
Yeah. But no, you're right. The showing of the engineering is not something they could have done. So
No, I mean, it reminded me very much of Strange New Worlds with the engine rooms we get in that, where they're absolutely huge and panoramic, because that's the way TVs are now.
Yeah. No, does a thing work or not? Yes, no. Can someone else who isn't me fix it? Because I ain't got a bloody clue. That's my sum total of mostly how things work.
Aha. No, but it looks pretty is my point. You don't need to understand how it works. It just looks pretty.
Well, it reminded me, to be perfectly honest with you, now bearing in mind I'm not an engineer by any means, it reminded me of milking cows.
Okay.
If you've ever seen not like a hand milking.
Yeah. Particularly at the start where the energy is
Yeah.
yellow. Yeah, I can see why you say that. Just like milk isn't. Custard machine. Scotty's custard engines.
I don't want to know about his fucking custard engine.
Well, there's our title anyway.
Right.
Let's find out what the llama thought, shall we?
Yes.
Lammerslag, Scotty, Fixie Noi, ja. Aber look, it's Unicron. Now, this episode is indeed the quintessential example of the old man shooting at clouds trope, isn't it? As it features a mysterious cloud that's devouring everything in its path. Now, there's an idea that we'll probably see again somewhere, especially on the big screen in Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, yeah, where they completely misdo Galactus. And, of course, obviously, in Star Trek The Motion Picture, which is kind of the offspring of this episode, and also The Changeling, so it's kind of a 2-for-1, that one. But yes, this is an idea that we will see again in Star Trek, and, interestingly, that this is where it has its origins. I mean, I guess we've kind of had things being devoured and planets destroyed in previous episodes, but this is the first time it's kind of gone big like this. So yeah, this is an important episode from that point of view. And of course, it's done here because we're in the animated series and they've got the medium of animation, which means that they can do absolutely anything they want to. And yeah, so this is another example of the animated series using the medium and the ability to do anything to its greatest extent. And it's a good episode. It's a really nice, interesting idea, and I do really like it. It is very much a very hard science fiction idea that they couldn't have done in the original. I mean, they kind of do. There's something with the space amoeba, don't they, in the other episode, and I can't remember what it's called now. But anyway, yeah, we're actually getting to see a lot of things here. We're getting to see inside the clouds, all the sort of stuff you wouldn't be able to done on the live action special effects budget. So yeah, what's also really nice to see in this episode is that we also get to examine Kirk's attitude as well, because once again, as you kind of expect some of the times in the original series, is that Kirk's attitude is, well, we can't stop this cloud thing, but now that we're inside it, it's vulnerable, so let's just kill it. And it's nice that Spock actually kind of shoots us down, and before he suggests the idea of communicating with it, he also puts forward the idea that yeah, sure, they could kill it, but they need to go for the brain, and in order to achieve a necessary blast, they'd have to blow up the ship as well. So yeah, you want to kill this thing? We've got to kill ourselves as well in the process, yeah? Do we want to do that? Yeah, let's try communicating instead. And sure, the solution at the end of the day is to mind meld, which is season 3's get out of everything card, if I remember correctly, but at the very least it's consistent with live action Star Trek, and it also gives us a nice little philosophical ending. It's all about understanding at the end of the day. It's understanding the strange thing that's causing so much harm. I mean, it kind of goes back to Devil in the Dark, doesn't it, where they're Horters eating everyone, no kill eye, and eventually having to learn that they communicate through the art of mind melding, of course. There should really be more Vulcans and starships going throughout the galaxy, just settling disputes instead of just being arrogant pricks to everyone they meet, but that's something for future Treks to deal with, or not deal with. Anyway, so yeah, this is a nice big high concept thing with a very Star Trek solution to the episode, which makes it really unique. So yeah, I do enjoy this one. And of course, we've also reminded this is actually a kids TV series because we get a whole explanation of how the digestive tract works as well. Nice to see that work there. And obviously also making use of the animation budget, we get to see inside the warp core, which I think is the first time that we've ever done that. So yeah, again, nice to see parts of the ship we wouldn't see otherwise. So yeah, great stuff there. So yeah, on the whole, I generally enjoyed this one. Nice ideas, well executed. The question, of course, is it canon or is it balls? I mean, yeah, this is going to be canon. If there can be other episodes with giant space clouds devouring things, then yes, this one can be canon as well. So sure, it's canon. Basically, I think everything's going to be canon until I don't like it. So yeah, and even then, it'll be canon because yeah, it just is. But as ever, I'll be interested to find out what everyone else made of this. I hope that everyone's been careful about what they put in their own digestive tracts. And until next time, glory to you and your cast.
Thank you, sir. So yes, so you said that he's directed a few episodes, this guy. So he's not just nicked off of Doomsday Machine, has he? Because he's nicked off the one with the Horter in as well, where they were going to kill it. Do you remember? And it's Spock mind melds with puke or a blanket.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember now. There was a long list of the episodes he directed. I'm not sure he directed Devil in the Dark, but I'll look into that one. The Space Amoeba one is Immunity Syndrome. Okay. Which, again, yeah, similar sort of plot.
But I'm just wondering as well, even if he didn't direct them, did he just watch them and just go, I'll have a bit of that and a bit of that?
Yeah.
I mean, it would... If he is nicking it from different bits, I mean, he definitely makes it canon, doesn't it? If you can sort of name check a whole load of episodes from the live action series, you can't argue that it isn't canon.
Nope, just not particularly original.
Yeah, Yeah.
Devil in the Dark was a Pevney
Ah.
story, so back in the day. Oh, yeah, he was normally a sign of quality with Pevney, wasn't he? Yes, and definitely every Starfleet ship ought to have one Vulcanon, but only ever one. Referring to Strange New Worlds there. Anyway, we won't dwell on that because we're about to watch tonight's episode, which we're hoping will be a lot better. It won't have to try hard.
No, it won't.
Let's find out what Pie Man thought.
Hello, Orgs. Parry here to talk about one of our planets is missing. Now, this is, again, I think more back to what I expected from the animated series. There is some definite cheapness. We had a multi-minute long sequence where everyone was talking telepathically, particularly Spock. So, how do we animate that? Well, Spock sits in a chair with his arms out and broadcasts his mind, again, a psychic power previously unrealised, to this cloud creature, and it speaks back to him through the flashing lights in the computer. Yeah, that was an uneasy afternoon for the animators. That said, and again, this one actually does remind me a little of the Immunity Syndrome, the one with the big space amoeba. Very similar in initial tone, that there's, and even I suppose the Doomsday Machine, there is a big threat that's coming to a populated area and they've got to find a way to stop it. That's, your basic story in that. And it's quite good. There's a brief bit when they're inside the creature, the kind of big space cloud creature. I mean, they briefly said, look, it's a mouth and a digestive tract, and I did have horrible visions of the Enterprise having to fly out of an alien arse. That's maybe one that we all just don't talk about, and we go for a good Barrian sweep afterwards, because, no, you're not scheduled in for your Barrian sweep until, 2 years' time, Kirk. And he's like, no, the ship needs it now. But that wasn't actually what happened. They briefly had stuff about, it almost felt, did anyone get a kind of edutainment feel when they were talking about how the digestive tract worked? And that was a bit weird. But I did actually enjoy the brief extra bit of drama where they've got to get some antimatter from the inside of the creature. Again, we got to see some big bits of engineering and the big tube with antimatter in it for some reason, but I just quite liked that idea of just pulling fuel from the inside. It was a random bit of extra drama, almost seemed like padding, and I liked the fact that they talked the thing out, although I did come up with an alternative ending rather than it going, oh, I see you're actually living things and all things are alive and I'd best not eat this planet. I'd like the idea that it looked at the planet and it's the equivalent of like picking up a biscuit and then realising it's covered in ants or something. And it would have been almost a funnier ending for it to look at inhabited planets and go, these are infested with all sorts of horrible things. Ugh. But it's very Trek to have that. It's almost, again, what we'll see with V'ger in the motion picture, in this idea that this creature doesn't think intelligent living things can be that small. In the same way, V'ger kind of assumed the ship was the living being, which was infested with creatures. So, again, some nice Star Trek tropes here. To be honest, I've not been doing canon or balls for this because I say it's all canon, even the balls. I'd definitely call this one canon. I think this is a good bit of, you could see this as a TOS episode. In fact, there's really nothing here that they couldn't have done live action, just with probably crappier effects. Because again, the inside of the cloud creature did look impressive, whereas, in TOS it would have been, a sort of funny wobbly colour in the view screen. So there was that. So yeah, overall, I quite enjoyed this. I think it rattled along pretty well. Maybe a bit of a slow ending, and like I say, gave the animators a good day off. So all that remains for me to say is to keep up the good work. I always look forward to the podcast, and I'll hopefully feedback in the next one. But until then, bye for now.
Bye.
Yeah, I hadn't thought that maybe it really does need a Barrian sweep, the Enterprise. It's been inside alien arse.
Lovely. Came out with sweet corn on it. Yeah. And when the padding lets you see, previously unviewed parts of engineering, that's good padding as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. It's educational, as you said. And you're right, yeah, the inside of the cloud looked quite impressive. The outside,
not so much.
Less so. But never mind, they were just following what the writer had written, which wasn't very imaginative, but as we established, he's not really a writer per se. So
No. Your alternative ending, I would also have enjoyed a sort of, it's the equivalent of there's ants all over my biscuit, and he just turns around and it gets closer, and you don't need any of the rest of it. He just goes, oh, how disgusting, and changes course.
Yeah.
Just because there's people on it. I
Got bits on me food.
Ew. I don't think a planet can have an equivalent of the 4-second rule.
Yes, possibly not. So, in 2 weeks' time on the 18th, we shall be looking at Mud's Passion. Ooh. Will that be custard coloured? Oh, good, Harry Mudd is back. Hurrah.
Hurrah.
Yeah. But before that, on the 11th, in the Babylog podcast, we'll be viewing Mind War. Woo. So until the next time we're talking into your ears, tatty bye.
Bye.
Theme for Star Trek The Animated Series was written by Ray Ellis and Norm Prescott.
Any music used in this podcast is for illustrative purposes only, and no copyright infringement is intended.
Find our website at borgcast.libsyn.com.
We have a Facebook group which you're welcome to join.
Send emails or MP3s to borgcast@gmail.com.
Find us on Blue Sky at broadcastammo.bsky.social
and revorg.bsky.social.
Shut it down!